It's that time of the year where we look at workout clips from rookie camp, minicamp, OTAs of your players. And today, we're looking at the Raiders. And we're looking at Jack Bech. We're going to watch him run some routes, work through some drills, catch some balls, and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at what your players are doing behind the scenes. We're looking at your rookies. We're looking at your vets in training camp, minicamp, OTAs. It's all right here. OTA should be firing up more this week and even more the week after. Minicamp after that, early June. And then we're almost to training camp. And we also look at workout clips. Click that button, stop missing out. We're looking at Jack Bech today. And we're going to loop this and keep talking ball. But Jack Bech, interesting prospect in this year's draft. To the left, that's Ladd McConkey. The person who posts this just want to show off the route running. Jack Bech, second round pick for the Raiders. And we're looking at this wide receiver depth chart. That's not Bech. There's Bech. We're looking at this wide receiver depth chart. We have potential of him climbing the depth chart very early and becoming a guy carving out a good role early. I like to give grace to all rookies and give them a rookie ramp up. That way, that when they do have a slow ramp up, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I give them grace. So I expect there to be a ramp up. And sometimes they're out of the box good, but it's still a ramp up to them and they get even better. But what I'm seeing here, we saw this guy cook at the Senior Bowl. He turned heads at the Senior Bowl. Usually the wide receivers who turn heads at the Senior Bowl, they get drafted day 2-ish. Somewhere around there. And that's the instance here. Now, we're not going to compare him to like a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase level prospect, but the Raiders got that type of prospect at the tight end position. A generational tight end named Brock Bowers. I almost said Jock Bowers. I almost went German on him. But we're looking at Brock Bowers, and I've been defending him hard, Raiders fans. I've been defending him hard. I've been in the streets for you guys because some people, and it was a few media blurbs talking about how Tyler Warren was better, and the scope of that's not true. But you got Brock Bowers. Take the heat off this team. Jacoby Myers is underrated. But you're looking at Jack Bech as a guy I see as a very dependable, nuanced wide receiver that can carve out a good role and help out this team. I see that. And I see Geno Smith as being a good facilitator of the football with some interesting weapons here that could buoy him in production and help this team. A new coaching staff that's not here to rebuild slow. They're here to retool and get things going. They're here to inject the steroids into this offense and get it going. That's what we're seeing here. And Bech, I think he'll be running a good bit of routes on this team. I think if you're looking at this fantasy football-wise, redraft-wise, initially this year in 2025, dart throw status, but we're putting our dart throws on the running back position, but still, you're going to have to watch him, and we'll be watching him. We'll be monitoring his routes and targets. Now we're getting in dynasty, similar with the running back position in rookie drafts, but you're really just playing the market between the running backs and then taking the value at wide receiver, and he's going in that spot of rookie drafts where the tiers are drying up, the wells are drying up at the running back position where you might make that case. And we're a second-round wide receiver. We're on a team that we have a clear shot of climbing the depth chart. We have a team with a quarterback that will spread the ball around. That's a good facilitator of the football. You got some opportunities here to develop and grow in the system. Brock Bowers is going to take a lot of heat off him. We're not expected to be Jamar Chase, so we can really develop into the system, and whatever we show, it's going to be feeling good. It's going to be feeling good. Give him some grace, some time to develop, but I see a stable, good wide receiver. If I'm a Raiders fan hearing this, just know you got a prospect that's going to help your depth chart. When we're looking at this fantasy football-wise, dynasty-wise, you're looking at the values at running backs. You're slamming your running backs, and when the value's there at wide receiver and the running back well's not there for you, that's when you're looking. That's when you're looking. You're looking at ADP. You're scratching your head with what I'm saying. But when you look at the names in the ADP range with what you want, that's probably the best advice. That's the best advice. Like, there's what, 30 to 40% hit rate of wide receivers drafted in the second round around his range. What is it, like 37 or something like that from what I saw? That's about right. That's about right, and that's about the hit rate of the players in his range, and that's a good hit rate of what you're getting in that part of the rookie drafts as well. That's better odds than some of the players that are there because you're looking at day 3 running backs. Day 3 running backs, you're hoping that the starter goes down. However, starter goes down, since it's a running back position, immense bump up in value. Lesser talents can be productive for fantasy for that. But I believe he's going to be a guy you can money ball lineups for a long time. I think he's going to help the Raiders. I think the Raiders aren't done beasting up this offense. I think they're going to keep doing it. I think Brock Bowers is going to own a good target share. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to get a lot of work. So that could mean Jack Bech, if we start hitting our upside, spiky when it comes to top-end production or midline production, or our top days could be rather spiky due to the target share to Bowers. Ashton Jeanty getting a lot of the workload. Jacoby Myers still in the mix, but that ain't going to be forever. I think he's underrated. I think he's underrated when I'm looking at the market here. I think you're at least going to get a guy the money ball lineups with. I think he's underrated in that aspect. I think this is the right landing spot for him. I think this is a good marriage of player and team. Because they got the running back in the first round. We get in the second, we get a dependable wide receiver. Of course, he's not going to be a Jamar Chase. Of course, he's not going to be one of those guys or a Justin Jefferson or a Malik Neighbors. Do not have those expectations. He's going to help this team and make this offense better. At the end of the day, this offense is better with Jack Bech. It has improved. The depth chart has improved. If I'm a Raiders fan. Brock Bowers is the man. I'll keep saying that. I fought hard in the streets over Brock Bowers. That everybody thinks I hate Tyler Warren. I don't hate Tyler Warren. It's just you can't be saying crazy stuff like that. You can't be saying crazy stuff like that. There's literally people put on wax and articles. Better prospect than Bowers. It was a few times. You can't say crazy stuff like that. And then we have Jack Bech here. I think that's helping Bech. I think that's going to help Bech. I think having a guy like Ashton Jeanty is going to help Bech. I think as a collaborative team for you Raiders fans, I think you should be excited. You're getting the pieces together. You're in a tough division with a few tough defenses. Let's cut that straight. You got to add some weapons, and you're doing it. And you're going to add more. This coaching staff ain't here to play around. They're just not. They're going to keep adding weapons. They're going to keep adding. The building's not done. The building's not done. It's just not. I'm just looking at this from the fantasy football draft analytic guy who watches film all day, talks football all day, and it does not hold any biases except for underrated players who didn't get drafted or late round picks that I'm rooting for, that I'm having fun watching, or watching guys go under the radar. I'll say this, if you're a spreadsheet sensei, you don't like Jack Bech due to the production, due to the breakout age and everything else like that. If you're a spreadsheet sensei, if you're into ball, studying depth charts, open-minded, you're looking at this like there's a good opportunity. There's a good opportunity. I'll say this, when I analyze spreadsheet senseis, now you can really tell I'm open-minded. When you analyze spreadsheet senseis, they're too hard-lined in their process to divert from that, to think open-mindedly of the other areas that could go wrong. They're looking at hit rates and averages, and on average, what they say is right most of the time. To a degree, and also to what degree we want to talk about. Because if we're talking about making a roster better, then you're going to be wrong. If we're talking about top-tier production, that's hard to do. But we're also talking about a good player on a team that's looking to resurface. I think you look at those analysts, you have to question them. You also got to question guys who just watch tape, watch ball, because they miss a lot of factors. You have to be well-equipped with everything in your arsenal of watching football when it comes to numbers, tape, hit rates, history. watching depth charts, looking at who's climbing the depth charts, know that things are changing on the whim every day, paying attention every day. And it's not about the take, it's about the process. It's about willing to keep coming back and looking at football every day. Because another thing about spreadsheet senseis, I created that on a whim. Spreadsheet senseis is they get their spreadsheets in order. They know the hit rates. This player's numbers go in this hit rate, due to draft capital, do this, that. We're done. We're done. There's no studying involved. It's just a collaborative numbers. We're just trying to get the job done quickly. But we're not looking at how this player moves. We're not looking at how he fits on the depth chart. We're saying, hey, the odds of this player's hitting is X percent. However, I get it. There's outliers. There is outliers. But that's also not the fun of the game. That's just not fun. Like after a while, you kind of just guess what the spreadsheet sensei has and you just move on, right? You kind of just know, like, oh, he's second round pick, odds are this. Oh, he's late first round pick, odds are this. Oh, he's a day 3 pick, odds are really against this guy. Oh, he's UDFA, odds are really, like, you just kind of know. So where are you really gaining traction here? What are you separating? And then do you really need top 24, top 12 production if you're a fan of a team? You really just want your team to be better and win games. Jack Bech is going to help you win some games. He's there, and he could give you a little bit more, and he could be a good money ball play. He could be a good money ball play on this team. It's opened up for that. This is a great situation for him. This is a great spot. I mean, you can't key on the wide receivers on this team. You can't. You got Jeanty and Bowers. That's a nasty duo. You got the Jeanty Bowers. So we're built by elite running back and elite tight end. How many teams are built like that in the league? They're going to be built different. They're going to be built different. Elite running back and elite tight end. Like I'm saying, I sound like I talk them up, but I also gave you the value ranges of what to do with them in Dynasty. I'm saying be open-minded, and that's how you should be. But again, this team's built different. Jeanty, Bowers, elite prospects right there, tight end and running back. How many teams are built that way? We're built on inside out and skill players. That's interesting. That's going to create some mismatches in some of these matchups. This is going to make game planning for this offense, especially if Gina can facilitate rough as they're going week to week trying to game plan. There's a lot of little technical things to look at here. With the Raiders. They're a fun team to watch. I'm very excited for them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.